Okay. Okay, I'm recording now, so let's make a formal introduction for our listener. Good afternoon, Manuel. My name is Claudio. I'm calling you from Washington, D.C. From the studios in Fairfax City. We are very humble and grateful that Manuel Göttsching accepted our invitation to our show. Manuel, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome.
So let's go with the beginning. This has been a weird year for everybody with the COVID, the pandemic. You know, some countries are better than others, and so on and so forth. How the COVID has affected your sanity, your ability to go out, the inability to, play shows, that kind of stuff. How it's affecting you?
In general, it's not that bad because it's mostly affecting only the concerts. Because I had some nice concerts which had to be postponed or cancelled in Cologne at the Philharmonic with the before. There was one in London at the Barbican Centre. That should have been the first time performing New Age of Earth music from the entire album. I never did that. I just played parts of it. And so, yeah, that's not happening. I was very lucky I could play a concert last September, 1 year ago. There was a break in the COVID restrictions in Denmark, in Copenhagen, with this band Circlen, that are six guitar players, and we
Yep.
performed the inventions for electric guitar. It was really great, and they were all very happy and really excited that we came, and so it was nice. Yeah. And now I will play in next week, next Saturday, the 26th. I will perform with Achim Rodelius.
Yeah, of course.
At here in Berlin. It's also very interesting because, of course, I know Achim for 50 years. We were not big friends, but we always met here and there over the years,
Yeah.
but we never performed together. And this is a festival to remember this legendary club Zodiac in Berlin, which was initially established by Conny Schnitzler.
Yeah.
I never performed there. I was a bit too young. I knew a little bit about that. My music period or my music location in Berlin at the time was the Beat Studio where I was rehearsing and playing. But anyway, I found it a nice idea to perform with Achim now, and he's
Yeah.
getting now is 86, so it's an interesting experience. He will only play piano, and I will only play acoustic concert guitar. So it might be an interesting experiment. And we never rehearsed or used. So we
You
just
never
go.
rehearsed, Ray, until now?
No, there's not. No, he lives in Austria, and I live in Berlin. He will come on the Sunday, and there was scheduled a small sound check in the morning, 2 hours, but unfortunately the same Sunday is also the Berlin Marathon. So the whole city is closed, and there's no way to meet and for me to come near to this place to make a sound check. It's only open again in the evening, so I can only come in the evening.
My God.
So we just meet, and it's really an improvisation from scratch. And I hope it's exactly in the original spirit of the Zodiac.
Are you going to be playing your stuff or Hans or a combination of
We just play what we want to play, so we don't talk about it.
That's good. That's even better, like the Ash Ra Temple days, when
Yes,
there's
that's right.
improvisation there, and sometimes the best comes from our improvisation. It's
Yeah, so it's just a freestyle event, and let's see what happens. And I think it's really in the style and in reflecting the original ideas of Conny Schnitzler, making this place to meet musicians to start playing music without any thing before, or just try, test, and
Sure.
yeah, that's good. But apart from the concert, it's not so it was not so difficult because we have I had my own label for many years, and so it's just okay. So we re-released last year. I have re-released this album, which last concert with Klaus Schulze there at London Royal Festival Hall again, and also on a video, on a CD, DVD, and vinyl. Now we are making we're starting with the re-release on vinyl with all the Ash Ra Tempel albums. Now we have the Schwingung.
This guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's for the 50th edition, right?
Yes, and this will be on very nice cover. We have it already, but we had to postpone the release because there were so many people order. There were so many orders that we could not. We had to repress immediately, and so we postponed that we could deliver all over the world at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's now in November. Next year we will have the Ash Ra Tempel, the first, with this beautiful folded cover, the original, and and then the other ones step by step. And well, there's a lot to do. And,
Yeah. Good busy. Yeah.
but anyway,
Oh,
in private, I don't care so much about it. We are very relaxed, and we live. We see our children, our grandchildren, family. That's all. And so we don't go out and so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully all the album, hopefully that particular album is going to be ready in the store in December. We don't know, right?
It should be in the United States. It should be, I think, from beginning 5th of November or 10th of November.
Definitely want to buy it.
Yeah.
I own about 12 CDs from you, but I don't have any albums. So when I'm when I'm flying to Berlin in December, I want to go to the first thing I do, go to the record store, the biggest one in Berlin, and then buy all of them because I love your music. I like vinyl and I like CDs. I like different things.
Okay.
So let's go back to the beginning. Where you, Manuel? Were you born like in a musical family? I mean, how old were you when you began? I don't know, playing piano or taking guitar lessons.
Yes, it was not really a musical family. My father was an engineer, but he was, yes, he also played piano. He taught me to play chess. Funny. And his father, he played a guitar. He was painting very nice. He was also an engineer, but just for private, he played a little guitar. And so my first guitar I had from him, and so I just fooled around with guitar and piano when I was young, when I was a child, and later I had I was trained classical guitar. I had lessons for many years. Classical guitar. And my mother rather had a musical background. She was an actress as a child. She had training in acting, dancing, singing. But only when she quit when she was 10 or 11 years old. So she played some theater, even some films. My brother was very musical. He played organ. He played organ in the biggest church in Berlin here, in this old broken church, the Kaiser Wilhelm Church. So he was the organ player for some time. And there are many church organ players, theological trained or theological in the family of my mother. My mother loved operas, and we went to cinema, we went to theaters and to see, and so I became I learned to know about Verdi, Puccini, Rossini, all these Italian operas, French operas.
Yeah. Wow.
There was
Good for you.
lots of that, yeah. But I also like pop music. Pop music. The term pop music was not existing at the time. It was
Oh, yeah.
rock and roll. Yeah, no rock music. It was rock and roll, and then it was later. It was beat music. Yeah, that was the '60s. And for me, the biggest influence in popular music were, of course, the '60s when I grew up when I was a teenager, and I heard a lot of soul music and blues and rhythm and blues, and of course the early Rolling Stones, Beatles, this type, and so it was a lot of '60s music. And we had a good radio station in Berlin because West Berlin was had radio stations from the Allied forces. There was an American radio, there was a British radio, a French radio station, and the German radio stations that were not playing very nice and very interesting music. They were playing mostly German style Schlager, or they were covering a lot of music with radio orchestras, jazz orchestras. There was still a lot of jazz, big jazz orchestras. And of course, for the young people, it was not really attractive. So we listened to radios abroad. And that was slowly my training, my ear training.
Well, which one was your? Did you were involved in any band before the Ash Ra Temple? When you were in the gymnasium with some friend, I believe that you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, before Ash Ra Temple,
of course. It was
heard
first.
some.
It was with my school friend Harmut Enke.
Yeah.
We founded a band in school, a cover band just for fun, and we played cover versions of the music that we like, Rolling Stones or Beatles or whatever. I could do with Yardbirds or Small Faces. I remember some, and we had some concert performances at school parties or birthday parties. Yeah. And then, but we both like to develop, and it was soon getting a little boring to play all these tunes, so we wanted to play our own stuff, but we didn't know at all how to do it. And, so we tried, and then we tried a very experimental band, a freestyle band called Bad Joe. We had just improvising from the beginning. We had no training or no ideas. I started in the first band. I was a singer, by the way. I was not playing guitar.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, although
Like,
I didn't understand all the English lyrics, but I tried to make my own interpretation of it.
that's
It
good.
didn't matter. It was just fun that everybody
Yeah,
liked.
I understand.
And then I started because I rejected to play electric guitar because I was trained in classical guitar, and I said this is something completely different, completely not only in playing but styles and finger technique. And so I didn't know anything about electric guitar. But then in 1968 I started playing electric and playing with improvisation and then we switched a little to make a little to get a little more into composition or into structure into music, not only making a lot of noise, but trying to bring it into some forms. We all loved blues very much. We were influenced by English blues musicians, the blues breakers from Mayle, and all these guitar players, Nick Taylor and Clapton, of course, later Cream. And so we tried to bring it together in our own style. We had a band, we called it the Steeplechase Blues Band, which was not a blues band, but we used blues as a kind of scheme for some parts of it, but the rest was all improvised. And out of this, then Ash Ra Tempel was created in summer 1970, and no, it was just another step. We left some blues away, but it was all a very logic step. And basically, the whole story is a story of the two school friends, Harmut Enke and Manuel Göttsching, for many years, and so we played till 1973. We made the last concert, and then it split.
What was the reason that Harmut Enke ended up leaving, the band, and he wanted to do his own stuff?
No, he didn't want to perform. He didn't want to play professionally. He didn't want to make it his job, his business. He didn't like it. He was in spiritual spheres, and so he was thinking about just one note, playing one frequency, which includes all ideas of the whole world. So interesting ideas, but nobody listens to it. So he had, it was a way with Ash Ra Tempel, then with the second album Schwingung, then came the 7 Up album with Theory, and then the last one joined in with him and did some concerts. He was not, he didn't want to do it professionally. He didn't like commercial approach, and to be on time, to be on stage at 8 o'clock. So he wanted to play when he likes it, and if it's 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock, or maybe not today, then tomorrow. But of course, you cannot play concert.
Of course. But yeah,
He made some private. I think he made some private effort, some private playing with friends for over the years. We met over many years from time to time, but and it was funny in the year 2000 when I made this last concert with Klaus.
yeah.
We were both thinking of maybe inviting Hartmut to join us, but we were both, we thought it's really not possible because we was just having to look after him for every second and be very anxious and very, and I think he wouldn't have done it. He would have said yes, but next day he would have forgotten it.
Yeah, you can now run, a company or a business like that, but in a way, after that
He was
period,
okay with it. He liked it. He was okay, and he liked it, and he didn't miss it, and so he was happy with his life. He was free, and so he really went out of the normal rules of society, so as far as possible. So okay. So many people call him he's not insane, but I never thought so. He just was consequently doing his life how he wanted it.
sure. But after a period of Ash Ra Tempel, right, that gave you the opportunity to begin playing on your own, and you produce fantastic music, so it was a period for you to go on your own and begin doing your own thing with the guitar and then with the keyboards. And so it's that way it was a good opportunity for you to play your own thing and develop other, more on the guitar and more on the.
In the beginning, I was very. I found it very sad to have this to lose this band because I always liked to play in a group, like this atmosphere, like this being together and playing, and so for me the band was very important. So, but and I tried to continue with it with other musicians, but it was difficult and was so it was not the original anymore, and so it was more that I became the boss and the others were the members of the group, like an orchestra. Yeah. Or I was the chief, and the others were my musicians. So it was not a balanced group of old friends. So, and then I decided I'd try something on my own, or solo. And I was at the time I was influenced by early American minimal music musicians like Terry Riley and Big Blast, There was especially Terry Riley. I think I've seen him or I heard some of his early records, Rainbow and Bird Air. So, and he was also performing in Berlin in the beginning of the 70s. And I was really fascinated how he played with very little equipment, just with an electric organ and then with some tape delays, and how he managed to make all these
Yeah.
patterns and airs, and so because he was just a great player, or he still is. And so I thought, well, that's maybe something yeah, I'm a guitar player, so maybe I should try that with a guitar, yeah. And that was the idea with the inventions for electric guitar and this minimal pattern-like composition. And the other one was that I just used the guitar as the only sound source. So every sound is produced just with this one guitar. And my first production, I found it at my first small solo studio. It was a small production. I got from my company, I got a 12-track recorder and a 2-track recorder. And so I could, for 3 months, I could try it, I could test it, I could record it in my own place. And yeah, it was great. And then I went to mix, I went to the third studios in Cologne. And then I continued. First with, I played one year with another great musician, which I knew from early times from Berlin, from the band Educated Free. That was with Ulbrich. And I invited him, or we somehow got together, and he was his group, Education Free, has just finished, and so. We played for 1 year, we played quite a lot of concerts in France and England in the style of inventions, but also exploring it a little bit further. And then again, I made the next solo album that I quit nearly from the guitar. I started keyboards, composing for keyboards, and starting with synthesizer, this was New Age of Earth. Yeah, so it went step by step.
Yeah.
Right.
That album, the invention for electric guitar, it's unbelievable. I have listened to this one, I don't know, like 30 times, and it's very good stuff.
Yeah.
I never get bored. Like E2, E4, I listen to many, many times. Every time I discover new things. But and after that, you end up, feel free to elaborate on the album 7 and the involvement with Timothy Leary on this album. I actually, by the way, I did have the opportunity to interview Steve Soider like a couple months ago, and he sent his regards. So.
He said what?
He said hello. He sent his regards.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think he lives in Switzerland now. It's now in Germany. A very nice person.
He's very nice. Yeah, I think I had some contact with him. He lived all the years in Freiburg, which is very close to Switzerland. But maybe he moved to Switzerland. And he played some solo albums, some talk. Yes, actually, a trained organ player. I found out, classic organ player. So I didn't know that at the time. We met Steve through Tangerine Dream because he performed with Tangerine Dream. He played one or two albums and
Yeah.
concerts, and so. But then, yeah, he left Tangerine Dream. And for 7 Up, we were looking for more. It was again Hartmut and me, the band, yeah. So, and we were looking for more bigger set for more musicians to have a bigger band, to have a bigger lineup with some singers and yeah, Steve and organ, another drummer, and so. And yeah, but we only played this. We only recorded this album and we never played any concerts with them.
We got you. And I noticed that in the invention for electric guitar, it's a lot more uh, structure, structure composition, as compared to the period with Ash Ra Tempel, where they were more free spirit. Do you like doing having like a more structure or a base so you can go around that, or you prefer to be more free spirit like the Ash Ra Temple days? Is you prefer one over the other, or you like?
No, I like both. It depends on the situation, or it depends on yeah, what. No, I like. I did really very structured propositions, like for example, on New Age of Earth, the title Sun Ring. There's nearly every note is composed very strictly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it depends sometimes. And I like structures like the invention, which is, well, there's a basic structure, but there's room to improvise. So this is also what impressed me with minimalist like Riley or Reich, that they have a basic structure, but they can always vary, or the patterns can vary, so it's not a complete score in this way. I like both, yeah, but I also like sometimes, as I said before, I like now the idea of playing with Achim piano, guitar,
Sure.
without everything together.
Yeah. The album, the new age is beautiful. It's all your stuff is very good, man.
Yeah.
I've been following your music for many years now, Manuel. So I'm happy that how you end up.
Yeah, with New Age of Earth, I was a bit. I had enough of guitar, so I tried to switch a little bit, and I tried to switch a little bit to playing keyboard, because with keyboard on the keys or on the piano,
Yeah.
you get different ideas in composing notes than on a guitar. It's a different technical system. And what I also like is the introduction of synthesizer sounds, because it gives you more variety also in performing it or recording instruments or different instruments. I never liked what later became very popular. I never wanted to imitate orchestras or to imitate instruments. I like this kind of old stuff, uh, string ensembles, or pianos. They don't sound really like a piano, but they sound somehow electronic. But it's something special. So it's a sound. All what I also like is to produce something which you cannot do with another instrument. So produce, for example, what I played on the second side of Night Dust of New Age of Earth, the second side. In the beginning, there's a solo of an EMS synthesizer, which is just a tone from an oscillator, which moves up and down. So this is nothing you could ever write into a score, or there's no other instrument how they can play something like this. That's what I like to try out. So I was always experimenting, and I never wanted to. I always tried to make with the next album something different.
Uh,
That was the next one was then Blackout. So I was influenced by again by yes a bit more like popular music, and I came back to the guitar, and I wanted to have more guitars again. So,
I got you, got you. How did you end up meeting Klaus Schulze, and then your feeling about playing live with him? I know he's not doing very well, Klaus. So
yeah. No, he completely retired in a way. He doesn't
yeah,
perform anymore. Um, yeah, but at the time it was good. I mean, we stayed. I liked it that we stayed somehow in contact. I mean, I was. Yeah, I found it sad in the beginning because he was really a fantastic drummer for the original Ash Ra Tempel.
of course.
So I liked that especially. But I understood that he wanted to go on and to develop more, not always playing drums. He wanted to play electronic and composition and different things. So I understood. But we stayed in contact, and so we met. Yeah, he invited me for some concerts in the 80s. For I was with a tour with him, and I played on some of his albums. And so last concert, I invited him for this concert at the Royal Festival Hall, which was managed by Julian Cole, and he asked me if I would like to perform something. And Julian had written this legendary book, Krautrock Sampler, and so he was very fond of very early Ash Ra Tempel, so I thought it's a good idea. Maybe I asked Klaus if he would like to join me and perform again under the name Ash Ra Tempel. And he agreed. And that was the last time. We were in contact afterwards, but it never happened. Another concert. Yeah, so, but it was always nice to play with him. And,
At the time you were with Virgin Record, right? And then was the time you were working in studio, and then you put your famous um, E2, E4 album. And then, by the way, this is the only version that I found live. I don't think there are not many recorded of E2, E2, E4 live. I think that's the only one. I ended up buying that in Tokyo, in Japan. So you end up leaving, feel free to tell the story. You end up leaving Virgin Record. I think you have a contract with them, and then you put E2, E4 together. Uh, you went to talk to his boss, and I think he thought, oh man, this is an unbelievable album, and you decided not to release it with them and wait for a while, right?
yeah. Yeah, by the way, to the versions you showed, the original, there's the original. This this other version that you have, this is with an orchestra.
Oh, I don't have. Yeah, I only have this one, the original, right? And then the one live. Is there in Germany another one with an orchestra? You said?
Uh, this is not. This is with an orchestra performance. It's a
Uh-huh.
10 or 12-piece orchestra in Berlin.
Yeah.
A performance, which is very special because it's a kind of acoustic version. Yeah, it's with
I
classical.
got you. I understand now. Yeah, yeah.
Which was very interesting because these musicians, they are all trained classic musicians, and they perform modern music from Xenakis or Cage or something like this in this direction, and they like the piece, and they invited me for one of the concerts. There's another official case was also from Japan. The first live performance in Japan was 2006 at a big festival, Metamorphose Festival. And from this festival, there's a CD and a DVD existing. It's also in our catalog, so it should be available.
Oh, maybe I need to get it. Okay, I will need to go to the website. Yes.
I can send you one. Yeah, I'll give you one when you come to Berlin.
Yeah, but I can. We will. Yeah, we will. Yeah, definitely. And so you went. So after when you put etudes
Yes, I
together,
had with Virgin, I had 4 albums, like
yeah,
New Age. My New Age of Earth was first not on Virgin, it was released in France on a very small label,
yeah,
but very, very successful. And because of this success, I got a huge contract with Virgin worldwide. And then Virgin re-released the New Age with a different cover on Virgin worldwide. And then I made the second one, Blackout. And then I performed again with Ulrich and Harald Großkopf under the name Ash Ra. We made 2 albums, Correlations and Derivations, 1979 and 1980. And so the contract was, the contract with Virgin was with an option. And when I had the E3 was in the beginning, it was not intended or not really recorded to be my next album.
yeah.
It was just one of many, many sessions I played in my studio for many years. And yeah, and, wow, it was great. And everybody said, wow, you must release it. So I said, yes, okay. Initially, I wanted to make a different composition for my next solo album. So, but then I had this tape and thought, wow, it's not so bad. Maybe I should try. So I went to Virgin Records, but Virgin had become so huge, so big company. In the beginning, they were a small independent English company for very independent music. They had a lot of reggae music. They had electronic electronic music. They had also this kind of house, Speak Village, and some Hatfield and the North, so some psychedelic groups from English countries in the English outside of London. And so within years, they became so really a very big company for commercial company for chart music. They got a big success with Human League and Orchestra Maneuver with this new electronic new wave. It was called a new wave in England. And then they released for George and later. So they were really indifferent. So I could not imagine that they were really interested in music like EP4, a piece of 2 chords for 60 minutes, and which he could not even put it on a record really because it's too long and hard to make it. So I think they would have bought it from me for some advance, and then it would have disappeared somewhere. Never had seen the writing. And I went to see Richard Branson. It was funny because he just had a new baby on his arm. And he wanted to listen some short, really good. And I played him a small MC cassette. At the time, we always had cassettes, a small MC cassette. And the baby fell asleep. It was really and then he said to me these nice words that, Manuel, you can make a fortune with this music. I said, okay. So I took the tape and went back to Berlin and thought maybe some other time or maybe some other place. And then it was by accident, and 2 years later, that Klaus Schulze, that he came. He was quite often in Berlin at the time because he had connections and so many friends. And he told me that he wanted to establish a new label, but he had sold his first label, the
Yeah.
team, which had to become a very big label, and it was too much for him. He didn't want it anymore. So he wanted to create a new, very small label, and that was the main